most voters continue to support Israel over Hamas and agree Hamas must release all the hostages. The numbers are clear. Across party lines, the vast majority of Americans stand with Israel. But among young adults, the story changes. 60% of young adults, ages 18 to 24, sympathize more with Hamas than with Israel. This shows us the battle is not only on the ground, the battle is for the minds of our youth. Behold, Israel is fighting back with truth. You can make a difference. Send the next generation to Israel so they can see and experience the truth for themselves. Partner with us to send more young people to Israel. Join the fight today.
Hey, shalom everyone, and good evening from Israel, from the Jezreel Valley here in Galilee, and welcome to one more Q&A episode. I'm together with Pastor Barry Stagner from Southern California and Pastor Mike Golay from the state of Minnesota. Shalom to both of you guys. How are you guys?
Shalom.
Doing well. Shalom to you.
Yes. Well, you know, this evening is the second day of Hanukkah. Yesterday, during the first day of Hanukkah in Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia, a murderous attack took place where two ISIS-affiliated Pakistani origin Australian Muslims opened fire. A father and a son, a 50-year-old father and a 24-year-old son, used shotguns, hunting rifles, 6 different weapons they brought with them, emptied their ammunition cache, and basically executed 16 people. Almost 30 are still in a hospital. Some of them are still fighting for their lives. Among the victims, the youngest is 10-year-old. The oldest is 87-year-old Holocaust survivor. 2 people in their 80s were killed. 1 rabbi was killed. And of course, many more. The names of over 10 were already released. More to come, but Australia woke up to a reality that words eventually also are being translated to actions. The Australian government had allowed anti-Israel, anti-Semitic slurs, and a lot of anti-Semitic incidents over the past few months. The Australian government totally aligned with Hamas and the demand for a Palestinian state, as well as calling what's going on in Gaza, literally repeating the propaganda of Hamas about hunger and about genocide and all that. And so what we saw yesterday was the translation in the minds of those jihadists into action. And we see what happened. It's, I guess, the October 7th of the Australians. And that was against Jewish community. I saw today a video of a pro-Hamas person in Australia who said Bondi Beach is a beach open to everyone, and these people fired at everyone. It wasn't really truly against Jews. Well, why did they do it yesterday when they knew that there is a Jewish celebration of Hanukkah of all days? They knew exactly who they're killing and why they're killing them. But again, everybody's trying to do their flip-flops and gymnastics to somehow almost justify this thing. It's, as always, just like after October 7th, the international community is in shock. The international community is grieving, is sympathizing with the Jewish people. It's not going to last for too long, folks, because as you know, Jewish people away from Israel are under the mercies of the governments where they live. And our government was very determined to go and get the enemy pay the full price. I don't know if that's going to be the case in Australia. I don't know if it's going to be the case in the UK or Canada or even in the rest of Western Europe. One thing is for sure, Australia is not a safe place for Jewish people nowadays. And I will finish this introduction by saying, by urging, by almost begging the Jewish people in Western Europe, in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, and in South Africa, leave as fast as you can. You live in hostile area with weak governments that are allowing the jihadists and the very, very, very extreme Muslims to call the shots. And it's the Jews that are first, and then, trust me, the Christians are the second. I mean, they just canceled New Year's celebration in Paris. They're closing all the Christmas markets in Germany, or most of them in Germany, because of security issues. Folks, it never stopped with the Jews. It never stopped in the past. It will never stop right now. First, it's the Saturday people, then it's the Sunday people. Remember that. But I'm calling all of those Jewish people, even those in New York City, by the way, leave and come to Israel. This is your place. We have a place for you. This is where a government will fight for you. And also, this is where I believe God wants you to be, according to his word in Ezekiel 36 and in so many other scriptures. That was my opening monologue. I'm sorry I had to say that, but I cannot stand seeing all the hypocrisy of world leaders now when on the other hand, they are allowing, enabling, and almost turning a blind eye to those type of things in their countries. Okay, Barry,
Hey, Amir, can I jump in here real quick?
Please.
You know, in light of what happened on Bondi Beach, what's happening here in the United States, I couldn't help but think of Revelation chapter 12, where, you know, the world is told, woe to you, for the devil has come down to you, knowing that he has but a short time. And I'm not saying that that's what's happened here, but something seems to have escalated here of late. We have here in Southern California one of the most wonderful, warmest baritone voices I think the world has ever seen. A man named Jubilant Sykes, late last week, was murdered by his own son. And then here we have, you know, Rob Reiner, who has long been a part of Hollywood. He's by no means, obviously, a pro-Christian person or even practicing Jew, so to speak. But he was murdered by his son, along with his wife, just last night. And, you know, one of the things I think about that is we have to remember, you know, it's not like the devil loves his followers. He wants to kill them too. He only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And as many people he can kill in an unbelieving state, the happier he's going to be. So I don't know. It just I appreciate your call to the Jews to come home. And I think all of us need to have our radar tuned in a little bit, because we live in a different time than previous generations. And the devil is highly active and inspiring people to do heinous things.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, Pastor Barry, you know, what they do against Jews across the world supposedly is because of what is happening here, supposedly. Although they've been killing us for centuries and millennia. But the thing is this, they want to drive us out of here. I'm saying, come over here. Do exactly the opposite. I mean, can you imagine how angry the enemy will be when his attempt to drive the Jews out of their land actually causes them to come back to their land? Exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying, guys, you know, if those countries wants to allow this, let them allow that. You guys leave, come. You do have a home here, and let the enemy be super frustrated when its attempt to drive us out of this land ends up with us multiplying here and deepening our roots all the way. It's phenomenal. Just last week, Israel approved a dozen or more new settlements in Judea and Samaria. We're building and building and building and building, and we don't need to wait for any approval of anyone. This is our ancestral homeland. The U.S. administration made it very clear that it's clearly legal for the Jewish people to live in the lands of their fathers, and that's what we do. And I think that we need to continue. Pastor Mike, how are you, my friend? What's the situation with the chosen frozen over there, or the frozen chosen?
Well, we've had a very cold last weekend here, below 0 days. It's an Arctic tundra with the polar vortex.